Again, my name is Jennifer Allen, and I teach BIS classes, computer information systems, Adobe classes, those kinds of things. And this is my partner in crime today, Leesa Lee.
Hi, also Business Information Systems. My favorite class and most important class for everybody to take is Excel. And fun class I teach is accounting, so we teach skills.
We do.
We have skills and we teach skills.
We do. And so today we're going to be talking about digital soft skills for college success, which spills over into your success in life in general as well. So go ahead and the first thing we want to do, how many of you have gadgets today? Get your gadgets out. And we want to do a poll everywhere. What we want you to do is where you're going to text is 37607, and you're going to type in 395632 and a word. And what we want you to tell us is what's your current purpose or intent for utilizing social media in your life. What do you use social media for? And what kinds of social media?
Don't have my phone.
Photo sharing, video sharing. Are you using dating sites? Are you out there networking? What are you doing with social media out there? Did you send it?
No responses yet.
No responses. I hope it works.
Me too.
If it doesn't, it worked just the other day. Try. I don't know either. So 37607. Watch it not work, please.
It better work.
607.
The web page is working.
Is that? Oh, it should be showing live up here. What is it? 395. 632. If it doesn't work, we're just gonna. Over here. They're not. Oh, photo did.
Yay!
So I did photo. I sent photo. There we go. Now they're working.
They had to go through security first.
So when you say internationally, is that chatting? Like Skyping? Who put internationally? Anybody? Want to admit?
Sweet!
Okay. So Poll Everywhere is kind of a cool tool if you wanted to use it in your classes to poll your fellow students during a presentation. This one's making a word cloud. So FaceTiming, videos, on the weekends, distance, internationally, connecting, friends, communication. So great. We're going to have you do one more really quick. And the next one we want you to choose one of these that is your attitude toward social media. The first one's, I believe I should be able to post whatever I want on social media, no matter who would see or respond to it. The second one, I feel social media use will not impact my future. It's just for socializing. The third one, I have heard some bad stories about people making mistakes on social media, but that won't happen to me because all my accounts are private. Next one, I'm aware of the impact I have on social media, including immediate as well as long-term in my life. The next one, I'm skeptical of the effects of my social media activities, so I hardly post anymore. And the last one, I am uncomfortable using social media because of past negative experiences. Well, I think we only have 8 or 9 people in the audience.
And obviously you guys know what you're doing.
But I bet you learned something new today. Everybody get a chance to send that? So interesting. I'm aware of the impact I have on social media, including immediate as well as long-term in my life. Perfect. That's where everybody needs to be. Everybody needs to be.
I'm the bottom one. I'm uncomfortable.
We'll talk about some of those negative experiences today during our session. Ready? Yeah, go for it. Back to our PowerPoint presentation. First of all, we want to talk about digital literacy. I'm sure you've heard the terms digital literacy before. But do we really know what it encompasses? We follow a gal named Dr. Josie Alquist, and she does some great work about digital literacy for college. And that's where some of our information and ideas for today's session come from. So here's a few things to think about as far as digital literacy goes. Collaborating, information evaluation, you're savvy on social media. Are you social media savvy? What kinds of things do you create with digital media in mind? Software and hardware knowledge. Do you know Microsoft Office? Do you know what's in the box? How the computer works? And computer concepts and coding. So those are just a few things that encompass digital literacy. So this is a quote that we got from an Adobe advertisement. And it says, today's students are digital natives, but that does not necessarily mean they're digitally literate. In order to prepare them for success in the modern workplace, they need to learn beyond basic tools and teach true digital literacy. The ability to understand and use a wide range of digital tools to solve problems, produce innovative projects, and enhance communications. So we're seeing digital literacy is more important now than ever. And do we really understand what it encompasses?
Well, and just to add to that, the older set are starting to get that it's okay to have your tech with you, rather than put your tech away, we're in class now.
How can we utilize it to make
Yeah.
it more meaningful? Your educational experience more meaningful, utilizing the technology. So today we're going to talk about digital soft skills. And these are from an article from Dr. Josie Alquist. And she talks about digital focus, digital decision making, applying empathy online, and digital problem solving. So those are the 4 soft skills that we're going to focus on today.
So looking at digital soft skills, if hard skills can be defined as knowing how to do a set of knowledge and expertise and the ability to apply them properly to certain businesses, soft skills represent something different. Often they are defined as knowledge, skills, and attitude, a kind of behavior that is more social, shared, participatory, and responsible. Responsible. This graphic helps maybe clarify the difference between hard skills and soft skills. So looking at the hard skills bubble, Adobe Photoshop, Microsoft Office, programming in C++, having certifications in tech. And then the soft skills, communication skills. You don't need tech for that, but you use tech for that. Teamwork, problem solving, leadership abilities. Those are the soft skills we're talking about. And even adding on to that, so if you, how can you use tech for teamwork? Anybody?
Anybody? Shout out. Group chats? Group chats?
Yep.
Sure. What else? Anything?
Like Google Hangouts or Skype?
Skype, sure.
Being able,
Yes,
Yes,
Canvas.
absolutely.
There's tools in Canvas, absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, one of the things to point out really quick here are these 2 things, and it talks about job seekers and businesses are really looking for your ability to use your hard skills and soft skills together. So knowing the hard skills, but being able to utilize those soft skills in the job place.
And you can see how the HR professionals are valuing, they're almost equal.
Yep. So the first of the 4 that we're going to talk about is digital focus. This is a big section. One of the first things that we want to point out is tech stress. So think about some of these things. How many of you get anxiety if you leave your phone at home? Yeah. Okay. About 5 of you raised your hand. What about misspelling on a social post? I hate that. I have to go in and change it. Do you? Yes. I'm seeing heads nod, right? Because it's a reflection of you, right? Absolutely. What about everybody has more than you? Not just the tech, but also...
Yeah, I was looking at my friend's Facebook. Oh yeah, I'm sitting on my deck, sipping a cool drink, looking over my pool in this beautiful suburb of Houston. Okay, that's my friend. It's like, oh, girl, you have everything, and I have nothing. I'm in Wyoming on my snowy deck.
Yeah, and that it creates anxiety and affects your well-being. Really,
Yeah.
it does. Sending a text message to the wrong person Has anybody done that before?
Just the other day.
Just the other day. Oh man. And that does it. Again, it creates that anxiety and that feeling of stress. And what about not getting likes on a photo that you've posted? Maybe not quite so high up on the chain, but do you feel bad if you post a photo and only 3 people like it? Man, it kind of makes you feel bad, right?
I have a cousin who posted a photo like the first time she posted, a video on Facebook, and she called me afterwards and she said, I'm done with Facebook. It took everything I had to put that video online and nobody liked it. Well, I need to give her a lesson on how Facebook works. Just because you put something on Facebook, you guys know this, doesn't mean all your friends will see it first on their feed. It depends on who's active and who likes who, and there's a whole lot of math that goes into the process of who gets to see what you post.
Algorithms and all
But she fell immediately into the trap of I don't like it anymore because nobody liked my
Nobody
post.
liked my post. So if you're continually upset by the social media that you're using, the apps that you're using, rule of thumb, maybe you should take a pause, take a break from it, because it really can make you feel bad. Maybe you should consider how much time you spend on that app. Is it really worth it? Is it really affecting your well-being? Maybe something to think about. On the next section, time management and technology. So technology can be a real useful thing with time management, but it can also hinder you. So here's a question for you. What was the first thing you did this morning after you turned off your alarm? How many of you used your phone as an alarm? Okay. And then what did you do?
Poured a cup of coffee.
You poured a cup of coffee? Okay. Took a shower. Texted your boyfriend, right? I texted Leesa, what are you wearing today? Right? And I
told her I was wearing blue.
and I checked my email, and I had notifications on my phone from overnight. Well, who's trying to contact me, right? What was the last thing you did last night, the hour before you went to bed? Texted your boyfriend. What else? Yeah, on Facebook or Twitter, looking who's snapping you, right, on Snapchat, okay? And there's research that says the lighting from those digital devices actually messes with your brain, and it makes your brain think it's time to wake up instead of actually go to sleep. And it can affect your sleep pattern. What did you do digitally yesterday? Huh? Snapchatted. What else? Messenger, okay. Absolutely. Canvas.
Oh,
Absolutely.
good answer.
Good answer. Okay. Okay, how many texts do you think you sent? 100? 15? 7?
Me too.
Yeah. Probably around 10 or 15 texts that I sent, maybe more.
Oh, Jen. I disagree.
Maybe more, I don't know. How often did you look at Instagram and Snapchat? How many times did you look at that? So there's research how many times you've picked up your phone. I was going to look this up and I forgot to.
Oh.
And how many times, in like 10 minutes you pick up your phone just to see. Your phone's going to alert you, but what if it doesn't? What I just need to look and see what's going on with my phone. So Josie and we recommend you think about taking a 2-day social media cleanse.
Then you lose your streaks on Snapchat.
Yeah.
That's what my kid says. You lose your streaks on Snapchat. So when we go camping, he has a buddy do his streaks for him. But sometimes that might be.
That's a trick. They've got you.
They do. They get you. Yeah. So if you follow those kinds of things, absolutely. So, but think about taking a cleanse, taking a break from it.
Sometimes the cleanse happens by itself, like if you break your phone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my phone is broken. I can't text anybody.
Yeah. But then you get anxiety. It's like, nobody can text me. Digital distractions then. Going through and identifying those. What are my digital distractions? I sit in my office, I'm trying to grade, but I've got my email up, my phone's dinging at me for text messages, and Facebook dinging at me, and my email, and the holy cow. So those are totally distractions, and I'm not focused on what I'm doing. So I need to sit down, I need to identify those. I need to limit them or eliminate them so that I can focus more on my task.
Well, and if we're complaining about having a hard time with our digital distractions, what about you guys? And
Yeah.
we see students in the lab, at least I I sometimes am not paying attention to what they're doing, but how they're working. And I think, gosh, you could have probably had your homework done an hour sooner if you didn't stop to text all the time. If you just would put it away and try to focus and get through, 10 pages of your chapter before you check, or tell yourself when you can check. Don't just check as soon as your phone buzzes. Yeah. For a mom, it's maddening to watch you kids work like that. I wish sometimes you would just put your phones away and work, but I am not clean in that.
I'm definitely not innocent of that either. So it's fun to balance, or it's hard to balance the fun without letting the tech take over your life. Mm-hmm. So, just to be aware that, it could be happening to you, that's really important. What do we have next?
Digital decision making.
Okay, so this is the second item of our list of 4. Talking about digital decision making and tools and tactics that you should have in the back of your mind. What about your digital identity?
You are searchable on social media. Mm-hmm. You know that.
Have you searched yourself? When I Google myself, crazy things come up, like pictures of my nieces that I posted on Facebook. They know I'm related to Western because the Western logo comes up. Things I was like, what in the heck? I couldn't believe some of those things that came up when I Googled myself. So I'm totally searchable. What was it you were saying about tags and mentions earlier?
Oh gosh, I forgot.
Well, just all of it searchable. If you're tagged in a photo. Yeah. And Facebook has that photo sense in there now, where it can figure out who you are from any angle, and it automatically will pull up with options of who those people could be when you post your pictures.
Yeah, it's not just what you put in social media, it's what other people, the things you tag and the times you're mentioned, all of that matters as you're looking through, searching for your digital identity on social media.
And all of that follows you. It follows it's a digital impression of you, a digital footprint that follows you through your whole life. Even if you delete your account, it's still out there. We're going to show you some examples.
So some digital fails that Jennifer and I thought of when we were looking at examples here. Perhaps some of you remember the Michael Phelps mistake. Went to a party after he won his first set of gold medals at the Olympics, and trusted the people that were at the party to not share what was going on there, but they did anyway, and video was out of him smoking pot. So then what? You're a national celebrity, you're a hero for the United States, for the United States, and not to mention this, the Olympics and whatnot. So there's always a moral to the story, but his digital footprint changed that day. And then our own Wyoming cowboy, Larry Nance, who is now an LA Laker, I'll show you his Twitter post, but I want you to know his Twitter post was taken down immediately after it was discovered, but it took me 4 seconds last week to find it. Here's what Larry wrote.
And now he's a Laker and he plays with Kobe.
Yeah.
So, and he took it down right away. But guess what? Leesa found it in 4 seconds.
Yep. So it lives forever because somebody took a screenshot. A bunch of people obviously took a screenshot. But look at the problems that are in here. He's named somebody, a future teammate. Guess he wasn't thinking that he might be a Laker when he wrote this, and he was dishing Kobe, and then actually tagged it a rapist.
And it's still out there floating around.
Yep. Can't live it down.
It'll be part of his career forever. So I mentioned Googling yourself and monitoring what's going on out there with what's happening with you and being aware of that. There's a lot of sites out there that, you can pay $1 and find somebody's background. And those are kind of things you need to kind of watch and pay attention to. Make sure, people aren't out there copying your Facebook pages and all of that kind of stuff.
Well, and here's where, when we were talking earlier, we talked about the student who had someone steal her, kind of steal her identity. She, the bad person, took a picture of the student that we knew and created a Facebook account that was totally inappropriate and very slanderous. And our student could not find a job because we as employers look at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We look for our future employees on social media sites, and we Google them too. And that's what was happening, is this girl could not get a job because of what was being said about her. It kind of like just a mean girl thing, you know?
Yeah, and even though she had gone through litigation and all of that was cleared up, she still had trouble finding a job because of what had been out there. Eric, the guy who's filming us, and I were talking about earlier, folks at the school district, if you're looking for a job teaching in the schools, they look at that. My husband's a principal, and they do. They go out and look at your Facebook page.
Not just your Facebook page.
And not just your Facebook page, but, he's out there. He's looking at your profile and your digital footprint and your digital impression and your digital identity. And is that someone I want associated with my business or my school or whatever? So it will follow you. It's so important to really pay attention.
When you're looking at Facebook, you can view as to see how your Facebook page looks to the public rather than how you are viewing it, which I didn't really know about until I investigated this tool, which is nice. Also, you should always go through your Facebook pictures and see what's not relevant anymore and maybe not appropriate now that you're getting toward job seeking. And I sometimes, you guys probably too, get tagged in photos that I don't really want to be tagged in. So you have to kind of pay attention to that too. It's like a job, taking care of your social media presence. So some other monitoring tools, there's a program, it's actually kind of a social media thing itself. TimeHop takes account of all of the posts, all the picture posts that you make, and reminds you of what's out there, so you can kind of curate your list of pictures that are out there. And on Instagram, it's always good to search for other people who maybe have started up an Instagram using your name, use your tags. And about tagging your photos, it's a great idea. It's fun to post your photos of your trips and the fun things you do, but it's a great idea to wait and post them after you've left that location so that you can't really be followed to that location.
In one of my CIS class, when we talk about security, I always show a video about it's a guy who he proved that you can go through and you can look at all the posts on someone's Facebook, and he showed up at this girl's birthday party at a restaurant. She had no idea who he was, but he was able to find out how old she was, where she was having her party at what time, and he showed up.
Just to prove it to us.
Just to prove that, it could totally be done. If somebody wanted to find you based on what you were timestamping and doing out there, it could totally be done. And another scary thing, and I don't know, maybe millennials and Gen Z think it's pretty cool, but this app that tells you, Match.com or whatever, and you get an alert because there's someone who matches your
dating profile.
Your dating profile, and they're 3 rows away from you at Walmart. That's really super scary to me.
That's a lot of tracking.
That's a lot of tracking, but it's something that we're not going to be able to get rid of or get away from as technology continues, and you're going to have to start being open or very, very careful about what you post and where you post it.
You sometimes see impersonators on social media. For example, a John Elway lookalike, I guess that's a lookalike. And I learned this later on in my social media life. If there's a blue check mark next to a person's name, they've been deemed legitimate. So if you are using Twitter to follow celebrities like I do, you might want to use that in the back of your mind as making sure you're really following the real person.
The real person.
The real John Elway.
The real John Elway.
On YouTube, this one scared me a little bit myself. When I search for myself on YouTube, I find so many Leesa Lees. And I don't really see them on any other social media sites. And I always thought, since I had a crazy spelled name, that would give me a little more, I would be less copied, I guess, on sites, but there is a ton. And I think it's because I probably use YouTube more than any social media site. And maybe you don't even think of YouTube as social, but it truly is social. And that's how you get pushed videos to watch. I use it a lot for posting my own instructional videos. So that's probably where that problem came from. But I just need to kind of keep that in mind and look at it once in a while and do that own search myself thing.
Okay, so this is just a little reminder to own what you type. Your digital reputation is important. You can't separate your personal life from your professional life anymore. And so it's really important to pay attention to what you post, because that does create your digital reputation. So consider items that will move you toward your professional goal, and think about that. If this comes up 10 years later, am I okay if somebody digs this up about me and my professional career later on in life? So definitely something to think about. More about your digital reputation, having a professional platform to put your stuff on, and to realize that it will affect your future career and your recruitment. What was digital stand out?
Well, it's like this is me.
Yeah. Maybe creating a blog to create your professional mark online. Just making sure that you really understand what you post will follow you professionally and personally, no matter what.
Right.
Some of you may have seen this crazy video we're going to show real quick. It's just short of 3 minutes. But it just
Amy,
makes
it
you
says
think.
you are trained in technology. That's very good. Are you adept at Excel?
No,
PowerPoint?
no,
Publisher?
not really.
Exactly in what area of technology are you proficient?
Snapchat, Pinterest, Instagram, Vine, Twitter, you know, the big ones.
I'm surprised you didn't say Facebook.
That's for old people, like my parents. That's funny.
Well, Amy, when you're working for me, you have to have those kind of research skills, because I'll send you things for you to comb through and get the answers and send them to me. So for that, you've got to be really good at technology.
For stuff like that, no problem. I'll just ask Siri.
You'll just ask Siri?
You know, Siri, tell me this, Siri, find me that. We're all good at getting you the answers.
Tell Siri, I want you ready to go at 8 sharp each and every morning.
I don't understand
What don't you understand?
what you just said.
You don't understand be ready to go?
No. You said 8, right?
Yes.
8 like in the morning 8?
Yes, in the morning.
Yeah. That kind of doesn't work for me. Who gets up at 8?
I do.
I Skype with my French boyfriend in Paris until like 3 in the morning. I don't even get to Starbucks until like 10, where I order my grande chai tea latte, 3 pumps, skim milk, light water, 2% foam, extra hot, but not too hot. So if it's okay, I work best in the morning at 10:45.
Wow. Amy, I don't think we're going to be a good fit.
Why are you so negative? I can sense your hostilities, and right now I am not feeling very safe. I've been here for over 5 minutes, and the only nice thing you have said to me was nice resume, which I typed all night for this meeting with you. You've given me no guidance, no validation, no encouragement, no supervision. Is there an HR director somewhere?
HR director?
Yes, I need to speak to someone. I may have to take off today as a mental health day.
Take the day off. Amy, look at me. You don't work here.
Are you firing me?
Okay, yes.
Have you guys seen that?
I
Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, Amy's got some troubles there. So, yeah. Applying empathy online is our third item that we need to talk about today. Check our time.
We're good.
Let's see. First, doing a self-assessment. Again, are you thinking about what you're posting? Are you taking care of yourself online? Are you posting things that you are okay if somebody, again, finds 10 years down the road? Are you taking care of others? Are you making sure you're not saying bad things or something that could offend or hurt someone else down the road? And not just online, but offline as well. We have a crazy other little video we're going to show real quick. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but this just gives you an idea of how something really innocent that you thought was really not a big deal can wreck your whole life.
Over the weekend, there was a bit of a controversy involving a PR executive by the name of Justine Sacco. If you haven't heard of her before, don't worry. She only had about 200 followers on Twitter, but she did work for a pretty big company known as Interactive Corp. They actually do the PR for Match.com, Dictionary.com, OkCupid, Vimeo, so you get the picture. Well, she was about to board a plane to South Africa last Friday, and before doing so, she put out a tweet that got her into a lot of trouble. The tweet said, "Going to Africa, hope I don't get AIDS, just kidding, I'm white."
Oh, damn. That's kind of unfortunate. So this thing took off like a rocket
Yes.
while she was in the air like a rocket. And so Anna's going to explain the tweets that related to that. I think part of the reason that it took off was because it was such an outrageous thing to say she's actually from South Africa. In some ways, it makes it worse. You know, 'cause
Yeah, so she was born there, and her family decided to move move out of South Africa because her father said that she didn't want her daughter to experience the racism there. Not that she would be a victim of the racism, but he didn't want his daughter to see how black people were treated in South Africa and use that as an example.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out as he had planned. We'll
Yeah.
get back to him in a second.
Yeah.
But so she goes on the plane right after tweeting this out. While she's in the air, Twitter mayhem ensues. She's not even aware of it because she's incommunicado. She lands, people start taking her picture. Those are the pictures one of them is the picture we showed you first. And she's famous by the time she lands.
Yeah, again, she only had 200 Twitter followers, and now all of a sudden, everyone's talking about her. And one of the trending hashtags during the weekend was, has Justine landed yet? So people couldn't wait for her to land and realize that she was in a lot of trouble. So BuzzFeed was actually the media organization that retweeted her, and that's how it kind of spiraled out of control. But after she did land, she was greeted by someone by the name of Zach. And Zach took pictures of her, as you guys could see. And he also tweeted about it. He tweeted, "Yup, Justine Sacco has in fact landed at Cape Town International. She's decided to wear sunnies as a disguise." I love that, sunnies as a disguise. I'm going to use that from now on. So there she is. She also immediately deleted the tweet and I think deleted her entire Twitter account, which, I mean, or deactivated it, I should say.
Well, you know you've made a Twitter mistake when you have to destroy your entire Twitter account.
Yeah.
And
It just wasn't a smart idea, obviously. And as a PR exec, you would assume that she would know better than that. And of course, she has since been let go from her position. Understandably so. If you are in public relations, you need to know right from wrong. I mean, your whole job, your life revolves around making people look good. And
So Justine lost her job, and then she actually went into hiding for about a year. And imagine how that affected her getting another job, how people viewed her.
So,
What she thought was so innocent.
yeah.
Yeah.
So a few things that Jennifer and I think that you should think about before you post.
Will this post represent the future you?
Will your family and friends appreciate your post?
Will this post follow policies at work?
How do professionals use social media?
Use the grandma test. If you think your little old grandma would be embarrassed or upset with you for posting it, maybe you shouldn't post it.
Or your hippo grandma?
Your hippo grandma.
Does it fit the platform?
Is there emotion behind it? Maybe you should wait until you're calmer before you post.
Will it brighten someone's day? Then you should post it.
You should post it. When you are a big shot down the road, will this post be found, and will you be proud of that post?
And does the post represent what you stand for?
So our last one to talk about today is digital problem solving. And this one, it's about using tools that you know to solve problems, to collaborate, and those kinds of things. So technology offers us a lot of new ways to collaborate. We visited with that briefly at the beginning. Okay. But technology also gives us a lot of other things. So we have creative and computational thinking. There's a big initiative about creative thinking and creative computational thinking, which is breaking down problems into smaller, bite-sized pieces to accomplish tasks. Okay? And that's basically what computational thinking is. And we use technology a lot to do that. And then we want to just run some things by you about what's in your digital toolkit to make you a good digital problem solver. And what kind of tools do you need to have? So first one on the list is Microsoft Office. How many of you have experience with Microsoft Office? Okay.
And knowing which one of the applications is best for which job you're going to be doing.
That's one of the big things. Okay? So being able to not only know the tools and what's going on with the ribbon, but what do I use those tools to accomplish? Okay? What program would you use to write a paper?
Word.
Microsoft Word. Okay? What if you needed to create a graph? Excel. Okay? So knowing what tools fit what you need to do.
And the same goes in the Adobe suite, because there's different products in the Adobe suite.
If you're needing to edit a photo, you want to use Photoshop. But if you need to design a logo, you would use Illustrator. So knowing not only how the programs work, but which tool is best for the job. Other ones we have listed, Google Docs and Google Drive. Knowing your library databases and how to research those. YouTube, WordPress, Tumblr, all those ones where you can create a blog. Google Sites, Weebly.com, Wix.com. These are free websites where you can create portfolios or projects for classes or those kinds of things.
And then specifically to create a professional portfolio, these are some that we would recommend. About Me, Google Sites, WordPress, and then LinkedIn. And then before you get started making your professional site, what would you think you should call it? And your website name should reflect and represent you, just like everything else you do online should.
So back to the LinkedIn and completing your portfolio. I have students do this in a few of my classes, and I read in this particular article how important it is to make sure that your LinkedIn portfolio is complete. Even as a student, it's very important that your LinkedIn portfolio is complete. People are out there looking all the time. What skills do you have? What could you bring to my company? Even as a student, there's opportunity out there for you.
Especially if they're looking for a precise skill, like maybe they want someone who can really do Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's in your portfolio, you might be connected.
Mm-hmm. And creating your digital brand and your digital footprint out there is going to be so important for you as you finish your college career and dive out into the professional world. So again, we want to say thanks to Dr. Josie Alquist, who was one of our huge resources for our presentation today.
And a good inspiration.
A great inspiration. If you have a minute to go out and check her out, she's amazing. She offers a wellness, digital
wellness toolkit,
which is like a course you can take for $10. You earn a certificate. And, you know, just it talks about a lot of what we talked about today, but it goes into depth a little bit more. It's pretty amazing. So she does some really great stuff. So do you guys have any questions? Go be digital leaders. Thanks for coming today.
Thanks for coming.